Okay.
You're going to have to pay for everything.
Yeah. Okay, well, welcome everyone. Facilities meeting.
Scott, say the date and the microphone.
Today's date 11/7/11. If we can get started, first thing we're going to cover tonight is high school, and Mr. Smith wants to go over that a little bit as far as we have the gym roof repaired, the annex heat, the gray box, is that correct? Gray boys, annex windows, and locker room doors on the boys' gym pass-through.
Yep. I'll just go over everything real briefly here and work my way down the list. High school roof, the gym repair where we have your tarp up in there. We did found a 5-foot crack down lower than the section that we did repair. We had all that snow load on there and the snow melt. We didn't get no water in the gym, so I feel real comfortable that we repaired that leak at that section. Whether there's going to be another one up here, I don't know.
So that last weekend, that snowstorm, we were okay?
We were fine.
Good.
The annex heat on the morning after the big snowstorm, that Monday morning, what had happened, I checked everything out. Sunday night at 6 o'clock, everything was up running. Sometime over the night, we got a power surge in which we lost a couple rib relays in our EMS system, which disabled, I should say, our heating loop in the annex. We went in, we jumped out the rib relays, and we got the heat back up within 2 hours. What's he here?
Yeah, he's coming down.
Got that going. Gray boils, the annex windows. Basically all we did there, we have some warning windows where the gaskets are coming up on the windows. As warranty work, they're going to replace them. I have to get a schedule to Bill McElmore, and we have a couple spare rooms in the high school where we're going to phase out the classrooms in the high school while we replace the windows, basically from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Okay.
Locker room door at the boys' phys ed door. Basically, where Lee Ryan has his gym classes right across from A5. It's a pass-through door, and as Total Door Systems, we have no more parts for them. They went out of business. So we need to, I'm going to get a price on a pass-through door there. They lock that up for wrestling matches, anything we have inside the, as far as teams, we use that for a team room for basketball, so they don't get into the actual lockers, the gym lockers. Right now we can.
That's because we had issues, I guess, with that. People
Yes.
getting in there.
Yeah.
How about the girls? Are they scheduled to be changed this week?
The girls'
2 or more?
locker rooms, not as of right now. We do have solid doors, brand new door on the outside of the girls' locker rooms. There is really no pass-through door. There's one pass-through door there, but that door seems to be working fine. Yep. The middle school, we had one roof leak there, right outside the student store. What we found out is we had a valley leaking in there, so we got up and repaired the valley. And also at the middle school, we basically took down the fire system. We had a flow switch that was sticking. So we kept on getting calls in the middle of the night, so we just took down the system one day and put a new flow switch in.
That roof's not under warranty yet, is it?
No. Amity Primary Center, what we had up there is we replaced the roof on the ESCO project. Well, what we had down below it there's a strainer which wasn't in the part of the project. The seal on the strainer was leaking. So we got up there and basically it's the old cast iron pipe. We had to knock the lead out of it and everything like that. And we put the lead back in it and repaired it. So that's not leaking either. The new boiler's online. We have that interface with our EMS system so we can monitor it through our laptops and everything like that. So that's up and working.
And the new one's the primary.
Yes, yeah, that's the new one's the primary. Amity Intermediate Center, the downspouts, we did replace them 3. As I told you at the last meeting, we have no water issues in the classrooms anymore. I got with Cooper who did the installation. I've known Rich for a long time. Rich, whenever he can get his camera up here, we're going to shoot a camera down there. We're going to actually see what's going on. Yeah. I was going to go out and start replacing all the downspouts, but I thought it'd be better just to get a camera in there to see what's going on right now.
But we have flow coming out.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. All the ground network's fine. All the ground network's fine.
That'll be before Christmas, hopefully.
Yeah. 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 Hopefully. Monocacy Elementary, we have the projector installs going on here. The overhead projectors, which Mike had purchased before he had left. Now we're running the wire to it.
When's it complete?
We'll pretty well be completed by the end of this week.
Oh, okay.
If I can keep Glenn on it. If I got to yank Glenn for something else, he'll be with me tomorrow.
Another
over at the high school.
snowstorm.
Yeah, Glenn will be with me over at the high school tomorrow on them heat exchangers. Monocacy Elementary projector installed. That should be HRU and ERU comm issues. Through the power outage, we had no communications to our heat recovery units and our energy recovery units. Had training here. We have full communication now. So we're good to go.
We were actually lucky as a
able to see
district that we didn't
everything.
have to shut down. A lot of districts had buildings that were out, for days. We were lucky. We really did dodge a bullet on that one.
Yeah. Birdsboro Elementary, we finally turned the heat on out there October 26th.
Heard a couple issues about that.
Yeah, I know.
Keeps it moving.
But, on the transition days where you're still getting, on that third floor and the second floor where you're still getting maybe 60 degrees out, you turn the heat on, it's a two-pipe system. Either you have heat or you have air conditioning. It's not the best of both worlds there. So once you turn the heat on, it's heat. I mean, unless you actually go down and turn the loop pumps off, you're going to get flow through the Univent units.
So it's hot or
the
chilled?
The fans we turn off, but you're still going to get flow through that loop. So what we do is we go down and turn the main loop pumps off so it ain't so hot then. BEC chiller, we're still getting a price on the number 2 chiller out there. I had a recommendation. I have Dan Armstrong comes in and basically does our safety checks on our backstops, our partitions, any movable partition, any collapsible partition or anything like that. He does all the safety checks through the state. We're not certified to do that in-house. He recommends that we get auto locks on our collapsible backboards out at Birdsboro Elementary for liability reasons. So if they've ever taken them up and some kind of a mechanical failure happens and basically them things let loose, the cable lets loose or something like that, the auto locks to keep it from free falling. The grounds, stadium security, we did talk to Mike Godshaw last week. He's going to come up with a phase plan for the stadium security.
Who's he with?
He's with Exeter Lock and Key. Yeah, he's with Exeter Lock and Key. ADT, I gave them a call. Hopefully I can meet with them this week.
Did they get back to you?
The way things, Paul got back to me, I think. Paul got back to me, and he's supposed to give me a call back to set up a date to see when we can do it. The no trespassing signs are posted.
No, I know.
Do we still have lockdown?
Let me call my son and see if he wants to go.
We're open right now. What happens at the stadium? There's through that turnstile gate. There's a fail open and there's a fail close of that turnstile. If you're ever inside that stadium and we will lose power if we go into a fail-safe close, that means you will not get out unless you climb the fence. Okay? What we have it in now is a fail open. So if you're inside that stadium and you would lose power, you can still get out. You can still get out. Now, The kids were smart enough to figure that out. When we lost power the other night, they walked right through the turnstile and built a snowman out in the middle of the football field.
I'll let you know.
Do you still want to continue with the fail open, or do you want me to change it over to fail closed? If we would lose any type of power,
The stadium is open.
if we would lose any type of
Until we
power
can
right
get down
now, the stadium is open. But if we lose power and someone is inside of that stadium, there's no way to get out unless they climb the fence
Or call 911.
or call 911.
One, first you have to post a sign stating that before.
Well, I think if we were going to do
If they
that.
call 911, it'll take them forever because they're going to.
Well, no. But I think if we were to do that, and I think there are pluses and minuses to both. If we do it, then I think we've got to inform every card holder now that we are now going to this and give them a piece of paper that says it. That would be the first thing. The second thing is we'd have to post it down there to say, if you're in here and the power goes out and you can't get out, you're on your own.
But that ain't gonna happen.
And we'd have to. Wait, I would want to get clearance from legal before I would.
Yeah, I was
do
going to say,
that.
you
Is there
got to
any way
turn
we
on.
could put like a buzzer, emergency panic button?
Well, there's no.
But no, if
There
up
is,
there,
there
nobody's
is
going to hear it.
that,
Well,
that
that would go to
turnstile.
someone.
That turnstile is the
Oh, I know what you
cheapest-
mean.
Yeah.
cheapest turnstile you can buy. Okay, there is no override on that thing where you're going to press a button outside. First of all, I won't have power there. To press the
Right,
button
if it's
to unlock
power
the
outage.
gate.
You got to get legal.
That's something that is.
You have to get legal because if somebody's trapped in there, you imprison them.
That's why I went
You need
to.
to- yeah,
that's
you
why
need-
I went to a
you
fail.
need a
open.
legal opinion
That's why
on
I
that.
went to a fail
Well,
open.
just remember, it's happened once, and once they get,
Wind
Now the
of
word will
that.
get around.
it's going to get around, and we're going to have an issue.
I mean, I was up there all night and I didn't see anybody in there.
I would. I get legal on that one.
Okay.
This is my opinion. Like I said, you're imprisoning somebody. And on the other hand, though, is if word gets out that
Raise more.
the electricity goes off, it's free reign, then you're. How long was electricity out that day?
Are you sure? I mean, if they're kids that they're going to climb the fence anyway, if they can't get in through the turnstiles. So,
Right.
Or maybe they just climbed. Are you sure they went through the gate?
They went through the turnstile.
You can see the-
I could see it in the snow.
Okay.
I got pictures of it. You could see it going through the snow, and you could see the 8 inches of snow we had up there. You could see the turnstile going around like this, wiping the
Isn't
snow
there
out.
any other way on one of the other doors that they can. Another gate that could be released, like a release switch from the inside only?
A panic.
you have padlocks on the.
You know what I mean? Is there one like over near the concession stand or someplace?
First
that,
of all, I mean, I'd have to get a line to the gate. Okay, electric line to the gate.
No, I'm not talking
somehow.
electric. I'm talking about this.
No, because we lock them, we hard lock them with a lock.
Yeah, padlock.
And there's no way, there's no button that overrides from the inside. Like the gate that goes like the concession stand. Is there any way you can put a button on there and people who hold car holders? You say if you're locked in here, you got to go out that gate, push this button, and manually release the lock.
I don't want to make it too complicated.
You can, but
For a cost.
for a cost, for a
I
pretty
mean-
hefty cost.
Seriously, the number of power outages that we suffer down there is what, 2 a year?
I mean,
I don't know.
I was up there Saturday till like 1:30 in the morning, and I was even plowing the back parking lot, and I didn't see no one down in that stadium. I mean, the power was off and on all night.
That's because you were there.
I would
mean,
just, you know what?
Probably as soon as I left, they were hiding in the bushes and walked down. I can see where they walked from. They walked from the cemetery
They were lunch.
across the road, down over the bank and in.
And
And then they had to climb to get out. No, the gate's open. That's
no,
right.
they actually didn't climb to get out.
Well, the gate was open.
No, they went in and built a snowman and turned around and came out.
No damage was done, but
No,
it's...
but find out legally
It's potential.
what happens
Absolutely.
if they're locked in there. Find out legally what could happen to us.
No, and that's what we need to do.
Excuse me, especially during a snowstorm and people are locked in there.
Well, actually, I think
Overnight.
during the winter, we're not
just
allowing access.
Any inclement weather, basically it says it right on the policy that everybody
that
adopted.
doesn't
You're not
mean-
allowed in there.
Doesn't mean
Okay. Basically, what I'm saying is,
No, I think in inclement weather, we'll shut the cards down. You won't be able to get in.
like if you're in there running
know what I mean?
around
From the
and
central
all of a
computer,
sudden
we'll
out in the
say
distance
the
you got
cards
a
won't
lightning
work.
strike and it's still decent around
Right.
here and the power goes
Right.
out, you're locked inside. Now that impending thunderstorm's coming over the top, you're inside the stadium in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
But I think when we get snow in the dead of the winter and we're going to
No,
shut the
that's
cards
different.
down.
That's different. But
Yeah.
you're right. Middle of July,
It's all or
August,
nothing.
you're taking a walk, all of a sudden storm comes up.
Yeah,
power
no,
goes
that's
out.
true.
And right now we have.
Power goes out, you're locked in the stadium over the storm. There's no shelter unless you crawl underneath the stands. And good luck with that because there's only about that much.
Yeah, and they're metal.
underneath
And they're
there.
metal.
And they're aluminum.
Right now there's what,
Better
30,
to stand out in the middle of the field.
30 card holders around?
About 30.
Approximately.
So,
About 30.
Find out.
Yeah.
We'll do the legal part and then
I'll
we'll.
find out legally.
Here's another question. The people who installed the gate, ask them what they do at other schools.
I installed the gate.
Yeah, but you
we
bought it from
installed
somebody that either it's on or off.
Yeah.
Ask 'em-
Well, that's the whole mechanism. I wired the mechanism up
I know,
top.
but yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no.
Do you
There's,
understand my question? Is there any way they
I understand. I know what it looks like up top. The mechanical makes of the box. There's no way. There's no way.
I think you're probably going to find there's a lot of other schools that
There's
don't let
no-
people in.
put,
There's
put,
no
a
way.
put a ladder in there and then climb up?
So, I mean, if it seems to be an issue for the amount, I think the next year.
So what? Do you want a ladder inside? So you can climb out?
Emergency.
We'll get one of those like you put in apartments with a rope. You throw
Yeah,
it
throw
over
it
the
over.
top and it comes back down.
Don't they have that in the gym? You climb
And if you
over.
get the dog, you flip it up and-
All right, well,
All right,
we'll
okay.
follow up with that.
All right, budget, you have the current budget sheet right there. You can review that as you please. Overtime, we're doing pretty good on overtime. We have 120 hours overtime, and all facilities is included in with that. So that's just not broken down into just what I need for overtime. As far as emergencies, that's games, that's everything. That's facilities used from other organizations also. And that's 120 hours overtime at approximately $3,000 right now.
That question you asked me about the cheering, they paid.
Oh, okay.
We didn't.
Even though we did Sunday?
Yeah,
Okay.
they paid for the overtime.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious.
Capital Reserve.
Although, oh, I'm sorry.
Capital Reserve, you got the sheet on the Capital Reserve. You can see where the boiler was taken out of the Capital Reserve.
Is that this one?
Yeah. Now, last time I sat in a finance meeting and we were talking about budget transfers. With the new system they came out with the state, I'm starting to get a grip on it right now. Basically, I put everything in oil, but they broke it out into oil diesel now. So I have to budget transfer my money that I put into oil for diesel to diesel. Okay, and it's the same way with extermination. Extermination was 446. Now I have to move it to 460 on the new codes that are out there. But that was done back basically last year at this time, and they just came up with a new coding system for plant and operation for this year. So when you see the budget transfers on there, that's what that's going to be for. Miscellaneous, tracking time and use of equipment. Anybody have any ideas on how to do that? I can start out putting a clipboard in the vehicles, and basically when you get in, you write your odometer reading down, and when you get out, you write the odometer reading down.
It's the only thing we can
Well,
do.
I have some.
We need a cents per mile, what
Right.
we're going to charge. It'll help defray my costs on a lot of the vehicle maintenance.
I do have some paperwork.
Because we do
on that.
spend a lot. We have 16 vehicles.
What
in
was
this
the rationale
school that
behind
we
doing
maintain.
this?
They want to expense the proper stuff to the proper categories.
So basically, when you say a cost of a program, that you know the total cost,
Including vehicle.
including the total
Because right
bottom
now, all
line
programs,
cost.
any transportation
So
is
somebody
all run
takes it
out of his budget.
Any transportation in this school
Gotcha.
district comes out of my pocket.
Right.
Use the IRS mileage.
In
That
other
would
words,
be my
it's like everybody thinks there's this hidden money somewhere, but you've really got to expense it somewhere.
Here's what I would do. I use the IRS.
Any tire. I mean, if it's on a Gator tire, if it's on a trailer, if it's on anything.
How micro are you going to get with it?
My
Like, you're
budget.
not going to have tire wearage and all that, are you?
No. I mean, it's just a cents per mile. You
Oh,
take the
okay. So
odometer
that-
reading and
Okay.
certain cents a mile.
You know what?
So
Find
it's
out-
an overhead cost for
I know what I would
transportation.
There's the contractor's guide that,
Well, I have a couple sheets not here tonight from other schools on how they handle this whole thing.
Here's the other
So
thing is-
I can give those to you.
And
Very-
We should probably put that into a written procedure that has
And
to be
also
followed.
try it for 3 months. If people don't follow it, it's going to be useless. If
Well-
somebody skips 1,000 miles,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You got to make sure everybody keeps doing it. If not, your data is useless. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying is try it for 2 to 3 months and see how it goes before you go through the whole
you have
calculation.
to really.
Well, the point of doing this, though, is to have people budget this in their budget lines and not yours.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of this, right?
And it's going to have, most of the vehicles, well, all the vehicles are at the high school right now, correct?
Right.
So that's going to have to be at the school office.
16 vehicles that get inspected.
So they're going to have to get a sheet,
Vehicle
they're going to have to
itself.
fill out the sheet, and like I said, I'll turn that over to you. It's
Well, who mainly uses our vehicles? It's mainly your staff, right?
No, sports uses it, band uses it.
Oh, okay,
I
so
mean,
all that stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, the mail carrier,
delivering
I don't
mail
know if
carrier.
we're going
Yeah, no,
to
that's
charge a
true.
mail
Mail carrier
carrier,
should be
you know what I mean?
administration.
Right. Well, somebody's got to put that in the budget somewhere. You're right.
You know,
van,
I don't,
van usage. I mean,
It's like
Yeah.
it's like what I used to tell
the
people.
clubs use them. I mean,
It's for postage. When I was a building principal and all the departments would want to send stuff out, I said, "Well, where's your postage budget?" "Oh, we thought you were covering that." Sorry.
Wilson has a very simplistic sheet, and
Well, then we could just take a look at theirs. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
no.
I remember using one in some other district I was in, so that shouldn't be too hard to do.
So we can
Hardest
do
part
that.
to get employees to do it.
But, if that's part of their,
Job.
if that's part of their activity, it should come from their budget.
Okay.
Right. No, I understand the rationale for it. Exactly.
okay, agenda generation. Basically, I don't know where we want to go with this about posting the agenda. I mean, from like fall, winter. Yeah, fall. Winter. We're going to be looking at the roofs. I mean, basically what I had on the agenda: the roofs, the heating system, and everything like that. So I don't know.
I think that's Andy
basically,
wanting to,
basically we put
because of
something.
populating the agendas for the year. That's his way of saying
Right.
it.
Right.
For the new
You're
board
gonna have a lot
members
of
that
new
come
board
in.
members coming on. That
So,
would be
I mean,
beneficial for
If
them.
you can sit down, I'll sit down.
I think that's more like an internal control than it is something
Yeah.
for
I
the.
think it's going to be that hard down.
No, I don't think it's.
I think it's the least on their work.
I mean, when you think about even our monthly board meetings, each month, kind of, certain things are coming. I
Right.
mean, once you hit January, you're going to be talking about budget mostly every month. Staffing, things like that.
a new board member is going to have more important things to worry about, I think, than coming in the facility
First year they're
the first year.
okay. This is something I bought there. UGI, the non-residential transport rate is 12 degrees. What this is we've been on the NT rate for probably 5 years now. It's a little bit more costly, but what happens when the temperature dips below 12 degrees in your buildings that you can switch back from oil to gas, basically UGI tells you they shut your gas off and tell you to go to oil. Now a lot of school districts aren't going to oil because it's so costly, so they're trying to get on the NT rate right now. We've been on it for years, so we have no problems with our buildings right now. If it can get negative 32, we'll have plenty of gas in our buildings.
So that's a big issue for some schools.
That's huge. It's huge. That's why I put it in there. I don't know if you've seen the article in the paper a couple weeks ago or something like that. I think there was an article in the paper. UGI put it in the paper or something like that about, the consortium, BCIU. A lot of schools were having issues with this because now they have to pay that surcharge to get on the NT rate. And we've been on it for a number of years. Just skip over the next one there. We'll address that a little bit later on. Building sprinkler inspection. Right now what we're doing is we're going through and in the buildings we're inspecting our sprinkler systems. That's why we replaced the flow switch on the one. And we're also getting in now. We're having these nice days and we're going in at the high school right now. We did all the other buildings at the high school right now, and we're inspecting our boilers. Found an issue today at the high school. We have the small, they're like wall pack boilers, evaporating boilers. They have heat exchangers in them. Well, out of the 12 boilers that we have, we found 6 heat exchangers. I don't think are going to make it through the winter. They're starting to burn. They don't look good. The company that made these boilers are out of business. You cannot get parts anymore for them. So I have one of my good friends lives in Leesport. I'm taking one of the heat exchangers out tomorrow. He's going to see if he can make some heat exchangers for us. So that's where we're at. The other option of this is buy new ball packs and start.
How much were they?
I don't have a price on them yet. We just found this today.
You might.
I was just calling around. The company's name's Glowcore. Years ago, they weren't in real good financial shape. I went and bought all the heat exchangers that they do have. We don't have no more heat exchangers. I can't find any more heat exchangers. I called National Parts Warehouses. They don't have them. They don't have them.
Might want to start getting prices.
We're getting prices.
I mean, not to be rude. Great, you can get them from.
We're getting prices.
You're gonna have to.
You know, Ranieri makes a nice one, a wall pack unit that's very similar, that'll hook up to our plumbing with minimal piping and stuff like that, that we can just start phasing them in. We've always had issues with these up there at the high school.
What's the cost guesstimation?
Want
You think that-
I'm not even going to shoot off the top of my head right now. I'm not even going to shoot off the top of my head. I'm saying basically a rough ballpark. Probably with a heat exchanger like that and a condensing boiler like that, small condensing boiler. We're probably looking at $5,000 a unit.
And we need 6 minimum.
Right now, yeah. Right now.
How many are in the whole district?
We'll be okay. If I can maintain 6, we'll be okay. But what it's going to do, it's going to increase our length of duration of our run time, which in turn is going to jack our electricity up because we have to keep our loop temperature up on the cold nights. So that thing is basically going to run for 18 hours. We'll shut it down a little bit, but we can program it with the EMS system as soon as our loop temperature hits a certain degree that they fire back up to maintain
Frank's
it.
confident he can repair the ones that.
He don't know till I get them out. You know what I mean? He don't know till we pull it out and look at it. You
He's
know?
just going to try to repair the
We're gonna try to repair the internals of the heat exchanger. Is what we're gonna do. It's a loop that goes down through this thing. Okay. On the outside of it is basically your flame coming up through. When it goes through that loop, that's where your water is heated up. Okay. Then what they do through that condensing thing, they blow air through there, which condenses the moisture then, and that's your cooling. Okay, inside of your heat exchanger.
Isn't this the one we fixed last year or a year or two ago? Same thing? Remember you almost couldn't get the part?
No, that was
Or was that in the chiller?
no, that was a chiller.
I guess the problem is he'll open these up. They could be a lot worse.
I mean, I went over today and basically we pulled it off and I've shown a flashlight down through and I've seen them burn out before.
How old are they, roughly?
97,
It's 15 years.
15 years and the company's no longer in business.
A lot of
They put the
companies
cheapest
don't
thing they could in a high school. I don't think they were real good when we put them in.
Where would we budget this
honest
out?
with you.
Capital Reserve?
They're junk. Huh?
Capital Reserve?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't have the
Well,
money
then
in my
we
budget.
need board approval on
I
that.
don't
then.
need the money in. Well, first of all, let me research it
Yeah.
first. Let me dig into it. Tomorrow we're going to dig into it and see
Okay.
what we have. So that's the big item for tonight right there. that everything else is up and running okay. Like I said, we had the comm problems here, but as soon as we got power back, I trained over and basically rebooted everything on our programming, and we have communication to it now, so we're good to go. We're good to go. Baseball scheduling. I did follow up with Goose on it, and she had gotten with Justin.
Okay.
And as far as that, that's it. I mean, she followed up with Justin, and
Seems
You know,
like everything's
work it out.
being handled on that end.
I guess.
So it should.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
I have something. When we rent out the buildings, can we reinforce the parking? The way we're supposed to park, they have to park in legal spaces, blah, blah, blah. Can we just,
Okay.
and again, I talked to Dr. Otto about this. Can we, whoever rent, and I know it's like, this isn't you, this is more Goose, but if you guys could relay to Goose, that when they,
Well, I've shared that with her.
when they get the form to fill out, make sure that they fully instruct that if they have parking issue, they park in spaces.
What's the issue?
Well, I know Saturday when it was snowing up there, they had a cheerleading competition up there.
People
And,
parking fire lanes.
It was bad. They were parked in the fire lanes.
That's fine.
I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in salt.
Correct.
I really couldn't get in the plow.
Correct.
I mean,
It was a freak
I
accident.
put the plow down, and
Even
I
if it's
was
not a
like,
freak, you know what though?
It wasn't simply a loading and unloading.
No, it could be a perfectly sunny day. It could be a perfectly sunny day. It doesn't matter. I mean, weather's bad, that's all right. But they can't park in fire lanes. They have to park in designated areas.
Well, the only way we get around that is if we post it. And years
But
years ago, I did put no parking signs up and tow-away signs. And
Can we reinforce
within a
that?
matter of a year,
I know.
they're gone.
But I just want to make it reinforced that
Hey,
Andrew.
I just want, I think whoever uses our facilities, that person in charge should be notified of the parking issues.
Came in just at the right time.
Not issues, but
What are we talking?
the recommendations.
We're just about finished.
Seriously, I thought this.
No, we're done, man.
Oh, don't worry.
Hey, Eagles kickoff, man.
I had one through our safety committee. I had one suggestion here for this building here. They asked if we could look at getting security cameras for the front of the building. The reason they put is all their elementary buildings have cameras. Well, they're wrong. All elementary buildings don't have cameras. The only elementary building that has cameras on it is AIC.
Has there been an issue, or they just?
I don't think so. This is just a suggestion I got through the safety committee. I thought I'd bring it here.
If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. You're going to might as well do it for all three schools.
Well,
I mean, not to be have to be one other school, not the other two.
we did have a plan here as far as swipe card of implementing everything in, but with the budget constraints, we basically put it to a halt. We have no problems here since we leave these stair tower lights on at night. We haven't had any busted windows or anything like that. So with the stair tower lights on right now, it's a half decent deterrent for kids to bust windows here.
If you're going to look at doing it in one elementary school, you have to look at doing them all.
Well, the only reason we did it at AIC, it was part of the phased-in plan that we were doing with the security and
I think
swipe
you'll let the
cards.
budget dictate that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
we only have so many funds,
Yeah.
so we need to be conscious of what we're spending and when.
Then I'll just reply back to tell them the safety committee is budgetary constraints.
Correct.
Unless we have issues here, once we have issues here, we'll address the problem.
Correct.
Okay, with that,
Were we going to take a tour of this building?
Yeah.
Shane?
Yeah, I have a question on the tracking time and use of equipment.
Okay.
Since you're going to start tracking the people using the vehicles, you have that money in your budget
Just
to
text
cover all the vehicles.
my person.
Are you going to now distribute that money, give it back to the school district, since every year you've been budgeting for that amount of money
I
and
won't-
giving it, allowing?
I won't
for
put it in my
all-
budget.
It won't be in your budget?
It won't be in my budget, yeah.
Okay.
People would have to anticipate their use of that and put it in their own budget. Like if
That
you had, like
or-
if you were, let's just say a French club is planning to take 2 trips to New York, they would have to calculate an amount for those trips, and they have to go, the principal would have to put it in their budget to make sure that we cover, and then transfer that into the expense account where we would spend it, like to put the gas in the car, whatever it is we have to pay.
Right. No, I just wonder if it was going to give you more of a surplus and
No.
restrict more.
Just decrease your budget.
I don't think it'll restrict more people using the vans. I still got to pay basically inspection. Okay, what we need for the inspection. Through basically the time and use of equipment, I can pay for the brakes for that inspection. You know, I can pay for a new power steering pump. That it's not directly coming out of my budget.
I think the best way to describe this, though, is there's a fixed cost in terms of overhead for vehicles and equipment in the district on an annual basis, right? Maintenance, upkeep, whatever you want to call it, lease payments,
Usually calculated
purchase.
by the miles.
And so that's a fixed number every year for the most part. And right now it's all dropping into facilities, okay? So now all we're doing is we're saying, well, look, those, even if facilities isn't the one using those assets 100% of the time, other places are using pieces of those assets at different times during the school year.
Right.
So what we said is charge out, okay? So that those people, now it's just a reallocation of the funds. It's not a surplus here and an excess here. All we're doing is saying, look, if the high school has used these vehicles for whatever it is, there's a certain portion of that cost now that has to be allocated to the high school budget as opposed to facilities.
No,
outside the stadium.
I'll just pay the whole cost. Just tell me what
Are
it
you
is.
going to allow them to increase their budget?
Reasonable.
Well, we would increase the budget in the high school and decrease the budget in facilities accordingly. Or, there's got to be a, you have to account for that. So the only way we're going to be able to do that is
Might
to
be
track
Joe
for it, where you have to bill for it. And so
be Joe Pa's
either
last
facilities is going to be billing the time out to the high school, okay, for that. So the facilities then is getting, some sort of revenue. There'll be some sort of journal entry in the budget where there's a credit here and there's a debit there. You follow me? But it's not like there's more money in one place and less in the other. You're reallocating the funds. Because we want to get an idea as to what it's costing for a particular program to utilize.
Does Daniel
we
have
had an issue of the flag, whatever that is.
fuels thrown?
You know what? This guy might be asking $500 now.
You have that too.
Yeah, it's right here.
I didn't think about that.
Custodial,
Right,
security.
wait till tomorrow and tell me the price. I wonder if
If we cut something from the budget, what's
he's
the
waiting.
total savings?
Hey, he's waiting tomorrow.
As opposed to just labor or whatever.
That's fuel cost. You
Yeah,
have to
because
figure
I
out.
remember the one year, weren't we using Twin Valleys fields for baseball or?
Yeah,
We might have been.
Yeah,
If they were
and then
charging
they were
us for
using
it,
the
and they were-
vans.
yeah.
And we may have had the shuttle, so there's a cost to using Twin Valleys. It's not like there's no cost to this.
No, I know, I'm just trying to figure if,
It's really kind of an accounting thing. You got to pay for it out of someplace.
Right,
This gives us better control over knowing where it's going.
And I think and for the board, this is critical because as we have to cut programs or consider cutting programs or consider adding programs, there's a request to add a sport or something. What's the true cost to add that? So that we're not talking, well, it's only $10,000 because that's the cost of the coach. Well, there's a lot more involved, right? So,
Huh?
I have a question. That piece of equipment you said that might go bad, or 6 of those, you said it might come out of capital reserve. In the fiscal year for 11-12, what was budgeted in capital reserve?
Nothing's our budget.
you don't, how much money do we set aside to fund capital reserves or
How
what do
much
we?
was in you guys the budget? It listed on there how much you had in capital.
No, you don't. Not in the budget.
No.
Does-
You can,
Not
in
the
your
budget.
operating budget, you can decide you're going to fund capital reserves a certain amount of money each year, but not how much you're spending out of capital.
Capital reserve's not, it's not listed in the general budget. You can put money aside, like Andrew just said, or whatever, but you don't put that as part of the general fund.
But you had some,
I believe the one time we discussed of putting 50,000 in it every year.
Right.
Because one time years ago, the board used to fund anywhere from 50 to 100,000 every year so that we would not have an issue with it. Then obviously in the last couple of years with budgeting, we took that line item out. And it hasn't been funded for what, 2 years, 3 years maybe?
Well, we've been using the demand response and some.
But that's not. But I mean, out of the general fund, we haven't put
Capital reserve separate from your operating
does
budget.
does that mean what you gave me here, you have 532,000 in capital reserve?
No, total 1.4.
1.4 million.
1.4 million. Correct.
But the state has a very tight control on the way that money can be used.
Correct. We cannot put it back in the general fund. It's a good fund.
I had mentioned to him earlier, Andrew, we went in and started, we have 12 wall packs at the high school, condensing boilers, the small ones. Start pulling the heat exchangers out of them today. I got 6 of them that don't look real good. Company went out of business. There's no heat exchangers to be found.
So we gotta replace the wall packs.
I got a hold of my buddy. I'm going to take one up to him to Leesport tomorrow to see if he can fabricate them. Yep.
You can fabricate them out of aluminum.
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
They have to be stainless. Yeah.
Probably be cheaper than replacing the whole unit.
Yep. So, crossing my fingers. Hopefully we can do something. Either that or retube them. See what we can do to retube them. You know. I did buy 8 of them a couple years ago. So we used them all up. Didn't anticipate the company going out of business, not having no parts.
Things happen.
Same as the doors at the high school.
Okay.
Things happen.
Okay.
Hey, we don't have that one truck that we don't take off the high school yet, do we?
What's that?
The one pickup truck, we still have that one?
Yeah.
That you can't take off because it can't pass inspection?
We had 2 of them like that.
But this stays on property, use it for high school stuff.
Stays on the property, we use it out for high school stuff. Yeah. Yeah, the cab mounts are all rusted out on both of them. So we just put plate steel on it and welded it fast right to the cab. Works fine.
Okay. Okay, with that, do we have any other items? No? With that?
That was on the lift. The lift.
Oh,
Did you
the
buy
lift.
a lift?
You want to
Frantic.
buy a lift?
For the truck. Remember you
Oh, for the trucks. I didn't get there yet.
He's working on that.
Okay.
That's sort of
I didn't get there yet.
spare time on
Yeah.
Sundays,
Yeah, on Sundays.
between 2 and 4 in the morning. Okay, with that, I guess we'll conclude facilities,
Are we taking a walk or not?
and we can take a tour.
I'll text you.